Well, hello, friends. Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day. And I wanted to just take a moment for this Mindful Monday. So I hope that you can see and hear me okay. If you're watching live, please let me know if you're able to hear and see me. So I just have something on my heart. First of all, I just wanted to say happy Memorial Day and honoring those fallen soldiers on this day, on this beautiful holiday. So happy Memorial Day to service members, and thank you for all that you do. And hello, Michelle. Good to see you here. So please feel free to say hello. I want this to be a conversation. I want this to be a participatory, back and forth. But I do have something on my heart to share with you, and it is the message that you are not your thoughts, and it is just the realization that stress has an impact on us, a very, very high impact on our minds, our bodies, how we function throughout the day. And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about stress and how it impacts our lives. Okay. And so, good morning. Hope you're doing well, Michelle. I just have this message on my heart that you are not your thoughts. Life comes with a certain set of stress, right? Our environment has an impact on how we feel. And oftentimes we're functioning in the state of fight or flight. We're operating from this place of distress. And we might say things to ourselves like, oh, it's normal. Stress is just a part of my life. Stress is just a part of my day. It's a part of my job. And how are you managing it? What are you doing about the stress that you're feeling? Right? So how do you manage your stress? So that's a question. So if you want to share with me how you, what helps you to de-stress. So I'm going to start by sharing a little bit about me and my story. Many of you that are my friends and have been my friends for a really long time here on Facebook or in my personal life know that I am a liver transplant recipient. Yes, 13 years ago, I received an organ transplant. I was very, very sick. I was at end-stage liver disease, and I had the beautiful miracle, beautiful opportunity, and I'm blessed to say that I'm still here. I received a second chance. My mom was my living donor. And if you know my mom, you know how phenomenal this woman is. And my mom gave me life twice. And I feel personally that my cause of getting really, really sick, a lot of it was stress and not knowing how to manage the stress. A lot of it is trauma that I've carried since childhood, and it literally made me sick. Now, I do have an autoimmune disorder that caused the liver disease, but as a trauma-informed yoga teacher, health and wellness coach, and hairstylist that has been in the business for 28 years behind the chair, I know that the reason that I got sick was because of lack of ease in my life, of disease. So in yoga, we refer to the word disease as dis-ease. It's a lack of ease in the body. I truly feel that that is what caused my sickness. And I truly feel that that is why I ended up with end-stage liver disease. So for some of us, stress and trauma can show up differently in our bodies. For me, I held a lot of it inside, so it caused a lot of digestive issues. It caused cirrhosis in my liver, and it essentially, I was diagnosed with primary sclerosing cholangitis, which is basically where my body attacks my liver, and that is what caused I feel like I'm freezing a little bit. Can you all still hear me? Yeah? Okay, I feel like I'm back now. Okay. So, well then I'm surprised I'm still alive. I know, right, Michelle? And honestly, I thought that too. You know, I thought that I was doing okay because I was still functioning. I was still successful, so to speak, successful in life. You know, I'm married. I have children. I had a successful business at the time. I co-owned Apricot Lounge with my best friend Kim Allison. I was a salon owner. You know, I had checked off all the boxes. I was doing all of the things, right? And so technically I thought that I was good until I wasn't, right? And so my message for you today is just the remembrance and the acknowledgement that you are not your thoughts, you are not your stress, you are not your trauma. That is not your identity. That is not you. You are more than that. You are also, you're not just a physical body. We all have layers, right? We're physical. We have a mental body, we have an emotional body, we have a spiritual body. So there's all of these components that make up who we are, right? But oftentimes we are so identified with the chaos that we're going through. We're so identified with how we feel that we forget those other layers and those other components of who we are. Right. And so basically, I've come to a realization that it is important to care for my mind, my body, my spirit, and my emotions. Right. Especially nowadays, we're living in such a high stressful environment. There's so much going on around us, and we pick up on all of these messages. Our bodies are connected. And so a lot of times the stress that we're holding onto our bodies isn't even ours. A lot of times it's what we're energetically and emotionally picking up from the people around us, from what's going on in our culture, in our society, on the news, right? And that shit is stressful. It is so stressful, right? So I want to speak to you, not to all of the things that you can't control, right? We can sit here and we can blame and we can point fingers at all of the reasons why we're stressed. We can say it's our job. We can say it's our children. We can say it's our relationship. We can say it's politics. We can say it's war. We can say it's all of these things, right? But what are you doing to manage it? So I want to turn that finger that you're pointing at everyone else and point that finger back at yourself. What are you doing to manage your stress levels? Because I guarantee you that stress is impacting you in some way, shape, or form. For instance, even me, as someone that is very familiar with this work, as someone that is very knowledgeable about this work, being a trauma-informed yoga teacher and wellness coach and having so many certifications, y'all. I am well educated on this. I'm a wellness practitioner, right? And even me that knows and has the tools to regulate my nervous system, to regulate my emotional state, I still get stressed. Of course, we all do, right? But what are you doing to manage your stress levels? So there are 3 things that I want to tell you, and I'm just going to be very, very candid with you. Okay. 3 things that are on my heart to tell you. Number 1, you are not your thoughts. You are not the thoughts racing through your head. You are not the thoughts that you're telling yourself. Our mind likes to create a lot of mental chatter. Our mind likes to lie to us. Yes, our mind will lie to us. We are our own biggest liars. And therefore, knowing the power that our thoughts have on our body, how can we turn those thoughts around? So instead of allowing the mind to lie to us to keep us safe, how are you managing your thoughts? I mean, simply, you can take that sentence that I just said is you are not your thoughts. Maybe it's simply reminding yourself that this disempowering thought that I'm having about myself or the situation right now is not who I am. It is not my identity. It is not my truth, right? So remembering that even though our mind is going to get the best of us sometimes, it's remembering that you are more than the thoughts that you're thinking. Again, going back to those layers, you're a body, you're a spirit, you have emotions, and you have a physical body. So for me, it was really helpful to remind myself that I'm not the body that is feeling all of the stress. I'm not the sickness that is happening inside of me. Like, for instance, when I was at end stage liver disease, I felt less than. I felt like something was wrong with me. I felt like I was a shitty mom. I felt like I couldn't do anything well because I was managing my disease, my dis-ease, my lack of ease, right? And when I was managing that, I felt like I was incapable of being the best version of myself. And so one of the things that meditation helped me with is to remember that I'm not just this physical body. I'm not my identity. I'm not the sickness that I'm feeling. I'm more than that. I'm a soul, right? And so it really helped me to differentiate and disconnect from that. I think sometimes we're so wrapped up in those identities. We're so wrapped up on our problems and our issues that we really think that it is who we are. But I'm here to remind you that God, well, for me, it's God, but for you, it might be something else, right? But God, the universe, source, your highest self, however you refer to it, is not identifying with the issues that you're feeling in this moment, and it is not your identity. So for me, it was really helpful to remind myself that it was just something that I was experiencing, that it was something that was happening to me in that moment, but that it wasn't comprised of who I am. I am more than that, right? And so it was reminding myself that I am a good mom, that this is just a season of my life, that I could receive support, that I could get better, right? So, and reminding myself that it was okay not to be okay. And what am I going to do about that? You know, so not making these statements like, oh, this is just who it is. This is just what it is. This is just who I am. No, I did not accept that as truth, right? So the remembrance that you are not your thoughts, okay? And then number 2, you are worthy of managing your stress. You are worthy of feeling good inside and out. All right. So remembering that, literally that you are worthy of feeling good. There's a quote that I really, really love that says, stop looking for reasons to feel bad and start looking for reasons to feel good. Right? How often does your mind remind you of how bad you feel? How often is your mind so quick to tell you the stories as to why you don't feel well? Well, start giving yourself reasons that you do feel well. Maybe start looking at the things in your life that are going right, right? And remembering that feeling good is possible. Feeling good is possible. And feeling good for me, because I didn't feel good for so long when I was at end stage liver disease, that I really forgot what it felt like to feel normal, right? So, what are the ways that you are helping yourself to feel normal, to feel good? So if it's like something, if you're carrying tension in your body, maybe what are ways that will help relieve the tension? Maybe it's stretching. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's just taking some big, deep breaths and cleansing your breath, right? Knowing that you don't have to walk around feeling that way, knowing that you have the choice and that you get to decide how you feel. Okay. So that's number 2. You are worthy of managing your stress, and you are worthy of feeling good inside and out. And number 3, stop lying to yourself and stop taking it out on others and on external factors. Okay, stop lying to yourself and taking it out on others and taking out your stress on other people, external situations, and point that finger back at yourself. Because I can tell you, as someone who has been highly stressed in my life, and as someone who helps people manage their stress, I know that it's really easy for us to take it out on our loved ones. And it impacts our house. It impacts the peace that you have in your life when you are just functioning from that state of stress. All right. So, it's okay to say, I'm not okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to seek professional help. It's okay to talk to your loved ones and say, I'm so sorry. I know that I've been an a-hole lately. I know that I've been short. I've been very frustrated and angry. And I'm sorry. It's not you. It's me. And I need help. So definitely, I cannot implore to you more how important it is to de-stress, because stress will make you sick. It really, really will. And the thing about it is that stress is manageable. That's the thing that gets me, is like stress is manageable. We do not have to live this way. We don't. Sometimes we are kind of just, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but basically we're just like, oh, well, this is just the way that it is. No, it doesn't have to be. You get to choose how you approach life. You get to choose how you approach the situation. And yeah, it is really up to you. It's like I said when I started the live, instead of pointing the finger at others or other situations, circumstances, or reasons, look at yourself in the mirror and say, what could I do today to help me feel better, to help me manage the stress? Because I guarantee you that if you don't manage it, it will manage you and it will catch up to you. I promise that it will. And oftentimes it is too late. For me, again, I ended up needing a liver transplant, a whole new organ. So this stuff is real. Our body, it holds a record. It holds the score. Our body remembers everything that we have been through. And it's not even about naming the trauma or talking about it or creating stories about it. The power is in releasing it. So what are you doing to release it? So what are ways that you release stress? This is a real question. So I would love to hear from you. Like, how do you release stress? Do you walk? Do you dance? Do you pray? Do you meditate? Do you breathe? Do you take a pause? Like, what is it that you do to de-stress? And I want to take a moment to say hi to my beautiful aunt, to my beautiful tia Chela, Grace Hernandez. Hi. Hi, tia. And Jeanette and Michelle. So glad you all are here. Please feel free to participate in the conversation. This is a dialogue, not a monologue. So let me know, like, what ways do you manage your stress? So for me, some of you know my story, and many of you know that I'm a yoga teacher. So for me, after I received my liver transplant, I hit some bumps in the road post-transplant. It's a very huge thing to heal from. And I had some setbacks, and it was difficult, right? There was a period of time where my body had to heal. And in that process of healing, what I realized is that I needed more tools to manage my stress. So that is how yoga came into my life personally. So one day I was not feeling well, and I didn't feel like myself. And I took a hard look in the mirror, and I did not recognize the person looking back at me. And I gazed at my eyes in the mirror for a few minutes. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but if you've never done that, I highly suggest, highly invite you to try it. It is like looking into your soul. It is the most amazing and deep thing that one can do. And I kind of just did it instinctively, right? As I looked at myself in the mirror, I heard myself say something to myself, and I said, "Who are you? You don't even look like yourself." And it was in that moment that I took myself, it like took me back, right? It like hit me like a ton of bricks, what I had just said to myself. And it was in that moment of gazing into my eyes in the mirror that I had this message come through. And I really feel like it came from a higher place. And it said, go to yoga. And I did. I listened to that thing because it really resonated with me. And I knew that I needed to do something different. I knew that what I had been doing was not working. So I did. I went to yoga. And long story short, here I am now, 7 years into being a yoga teacher, 12 years into my yoga practice. I started practicing yoga, just doing one thing, going to one yoga class. That's it. That's how my journey started. So what is that thing for you that maybe you need to do today? It could be one small step towards managing your stress, towards feeling better, towards caring for you because you matter. So for me, yoga really helped me to learn how to breathe deeper. It showed me that I was not breathing correctly this whole time. So just because we can all breathe automatically, and it's such a beautiful gift that we have, that our body just breathes on its own, there's also proper and deeper ways to breathe. And I didn't realize that I had been breathing very shallow. So yoga taught me how to breathe deeper. It taught me how to quiet my mind chatter. And it taught me not to run away. When I'm standing or sitting in the four corners of my yoga mat and I'm in a yoga class, I can't just run out the door. I mean, I could, but the invitation is to stay with it. And yoga taught me how to face myself. And when I started to do that, and I started to move my body and connect that to my breath, I started to remember who I am. Not who I think I am, but who I truly am, who God says I am. And I started to let go of the stress and the lies that I told myself all these years. And I started to emerge like a fuller, more truthful, authentic version of me. And yoga had such an impact on my life that eventually I just could not hold it in anymore. I had to share it with the world. And so here I am 7 years later, sharing yoga with the world. And that is one way that I started to manage my stress. That is one way that I learned how to let go of the stress so that I could feel better in my mind, my body, my spirit, right? And so what is that one thing for you that maybe you've been wanting to try, that you kind of instinctively or intuitively know that you want to try, but you just haven't done it yet? I think it could be an invitation to something deeper, right? So again, for me, it was like, go to yoga. And I went to yoga, and oh my gosh, it changed my whole world. I think oftentimes our desires and our intuition, it guides us. But so many times we kind of trump it, right? With our logic. We kind of say, not today. No, I can't. I don't have time. I don't have money. Right? And then you give all the reasons why you can't or why you shouldn't. And we do that all the time. We should all over ourselves. We should all over ourselves, right? So getting out of the logic and all of the reasons why we can't or why we haven't, and maybe just one small step to doing the thing that you think might be helpful for you, not only to help you feel better in your body and in your life, not only to help you to manage your stress, but it could also be a way that you really begin to enjoy life in a deeper way. Because my friend, I am here to tell you that life is not meant to live in a bubble or in safety, right? So what is something that's calling to you to try today to get out of that box? What does your body want to or desiring to do? Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a gymnast. I wanted to be a ballerina, right? It's like I saw myself wanting to, it's like something in me knew that I wanted to have and experience more grace and movement in my body. And it's unfortunately something I never got to experience as a little girl. And I feel that I'm able to experience that now with yoga. I'm able to express how I feel in my heart through movement, through yoga postures, and through flow. And I feel like it's very nostalgic for me. And I also have an appreciation for beauty and art. And I'm so grateful to my family, my relatives, for all of the creatives in my life, including my biological dad. Getting emotional here, but who was an incredible artist, but I had all of these desires, right? And I have so much creativity and so much expression in my family. I've got family members that are hairstylists, artists, musicians, all of these things, right? And so I really saw that. And I feel like, I think I fell off there for a second. But here I am. So I feel like I get to do that with yoga. I get to express myself. I get to feel good. And so that is my outlet. It's yoga, right? And so I'm just looking at my notes here because there were just a few things that I wanted to share with you, even though I've gone off on my own tangent. I did write some things down, but basically I feel like I have said a lot of what I wanted to say. But some of the ways that I'm able to relieve stress in my life is by coming back to the present moment. Coming back to coming back to this moment right now, right? Our mind, it gets the best of us. The mind, it wants to create the story. It wants to know the beginning, the middle, and the end, right? So oftentimes the mind is racing. It's thinking about the future, or it's stuck in the past. And that creates a lot of internal turmoil, a lot of dis-ease in the body. And so one of the ways that is very doable and a very realistic and easy way to come back to calm, to a state of relaxation and calm and balance, is to come back to the present moment. So whenever you're aware that you're ruminating and that your thoughts are stuck in the past, bring yourself back to right now, right here. Bring yourself back to the sensation of your feet touching the floor, the sensation of your sitting bones sitting on your chair. Bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to what's happening right here where your feet are, right? So one of the ways that I do that is by bringing it back to my body. And in fact, I feel guided to share with you a method called the 5-4-3-2-1 method. Super easy, super easy. You can do this anywhere. Super, super easy to do this. Hi, Lupe. Hello, Tanya. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Hello, friends. And just talking about stress and ways to bring ourselves back to the present moment. Feel free to chime in the chat. I'd love to have a conversation with you all, and not just hearing myself speak. But I'm going to guide you through something called the 5-4-3-2-1 method. Okay. So I'll tell you how to do it, and then I'll guide you through it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. You don't even have to close your eyes. It's not a meditation. It's just bringing yourself back to the present, back to the body. Okay, so why it's called 5-4-3-2-1 is because you're using your 5 senses to do this. Okay, so the first thing you do is you want to identify 5 things that you see right now. 5 things that you're aware of. And then the fourth is you want to become aware of 4 things that you can hear. And then 3 is, what are 3 things that you can feel? And then 2 is, what are 2 things you can smell right now? And then 1, what is something you can taste? Okay, so let's do it. So take a moment, wherever it is that you are. If you're driving, you want to pay attention to the road. But I feel like you can kind of even do this when you're driving because your eyes are open. But you know you, so please be safe first and foremost, okay? So what are 5 things that you are aware of right now? 5 things. So for me, I'm aware of myself looking at you in my phone. That's one object. I'm aware of the tree that's just right outside my window. It's creating shade for me. I'm aware of the car in front of me, parked. I'm aware of my body, my hands. And I'm aware of my steering wheel. 5 things. And now what are 4 things you can hear right now in this moment, subtle or loud? For me, it's the sound of my breath. I can hear the wind. I can hear cars driving by. And if I get really quiet, I can almost hear my heartbeat. So that's 4. Now, what are 3 things that you can feel right now in this moment? I can feel my AirPods in my ear, my hair resting over my shoulders, and how my yoga pants feel over my knees. So what is it for you? Number 2, what are 2 things that you can smell right now? So for me, I can smell the air and I can smell the inside of my car. My window's partially open. And then the last thing is, what is 1 thing that you can taste? Maybe it's something you actually taste. Maybe you're eating something. Maybe it's the aftertaste of something you just drank. Maybe it's something you wish you could taste right now. So that's it. That's the exercise. A 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. This is a way to ground yourself and to bring yourself back into the present. So for those of you just joining me, like my dad, Clinton Jasper. Hi, Dad. How are you? And so the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, again, is just a quick way that you can bring yourself to the present moment, that you could calm your nervous system and relieve stress in the moment, is to identify 5 things that you can see right now. Then identify 4 things that you can hear. Then after that, you want to identify 3 things that you feel. And then 2 things, if I can hold my fingers up here, 2 things that you can smell. And then the last one is 1 thing that you can taste. This is something that you can do with your eyes open. So if you all did it with me, if any of you did it with me, did you feel anything? I find that honestly, even if I don't go through all 5 of those things, even by the time I get to 3, I feel so much more present, right? For me, just identifying 5 objects in my view, that alone helps me to feel more present. It helps me to get out of my mind chatter, because our mind, in yoga, we call it the monkey mind, because it is literally always monkeying around. It's literally jumping from one distraction to the other. And distraction, yoga talks about the purpose of yoga is to overcome the distractions of the mind, right? So the mind is constantly thinking thoughts. And the point of meditation is not to stop thinking thoughts. We're going to think thoughts. We are thinking people, and thoughts are just energy passing by, right? So we don't have to attach to any of those thoughts about worries of the future or ruminating in the past, but bringing yourself to this very moment of right now, because right now is literally all we have. Right now is literally, this breath, this moment, this day is literally all we have. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And so why spend time, energy, and money, some of our precious assets, worrying when we can bring ourselves back to the present, right? So that is one way that I help to relieve stress, because honestly, my problems are going to be there. The mail is going to keep coming. Bills are going to keep showing up. The news is going to continue to tell me why I should be afraid. People are going to keep texting me, going to keep getting emails. I'm going to keep getting emails, right? I'm going to get phone calls. Actually, my husband's calling me just now. But you know, like, life doesn't stop. And so the only thing that brings me peace in this moment is knowing that I'm okay right now, right here, right? Knowing that I have everything I need right here in this moment. We can say, I'll be happy when. And then the funny thing about that is, you know, I'll be happy when I achieve this. And then you get there and you can't even enjoy it because you're already on to the next thing. Oh, well, now I'll be happy when this other thing happens. And then when this other thing happens, it's like, no, be grateful for this moment today. Be grateful for this breath right now. Be grateful for what is going well in your life now, right? So I want to read what some of you said. My tia Chela, Grace Hernandez says, thank you for sharing your story and for helping so many people. Love you for who you are and you have a beautiful soul. Love you with all my heart. Oh, I love you too, Thea. And thank you for always being such an encouragement and support. I see all of the love that you always give me, you know, when you see my posts and my stories, and I just appreciate you and I love you. And let's see, Tanya says, that's very interesting, love. Thank you. You're welcome, Tanya. Miss you, girl. Haven't seen you in so long. Lupa says, this exercise was great. Thank you for helping me calm my brain. Yes. I mean, literally, right? Because our brain is so busy all of the time. So I hope this has helped you in some way. Remember that you are not your thoughts, you are not your stress, and that you're worthy of feeling good. And I said this quote earlier, but I feel like it's worth repeating. And it's this quote that I just love so much. And it says, stop looking for reasons to feel bad and start looking for reasons to feel good. And so, you know, for me, a lot of times, things hold me back, you know, from showing up here. I could show up here more. I could share even more than I do. And I love the work that I do in person. I do show up in my life every day, and I do show up for my local yoga classes, but I feel like I can do more. And I am highly educated in wellness and highly certified. And so I do want to share something with you today. I've been going to school since last June, and I just completed a health and wellness coaching course about a month ago or a month and a half ago. I was in school. It was a really rigorous program. It's like getting your associates in health and wellness coaching. I'm already double certified in life coaching. I have a life coaching certification, transformational life coach certification. I have a transformational yoga coaching certification. And I wanted to receive a national board certified certification, right? To really say I am qualified and to really get the tools that I need to just be a better version of myself, because you all that know me know that I don't do things small. I don't know. It's just how I'm wired. Go big or go home, right? So I completed my health and wellness coaching program. And the next phase of it is doing 50 health and wellness coaching sessions before I can take my boards, before I can take a 4-hour exam, y'all. 4 hours. It's not for play. It's for real. I have to take, not I have to, I get to take in November. a national board certified or the exam, right? My board, so that I can really truly hang that up on my wall and say, here it is, right? Hire me. And so what that means for you, if you feel called, is that I'm offering coaching packages, two types of packages, one package for 5 coaching sessions, or you could do a package of 10 coaching sessions. I feel like if I do them in 5 or 10 session increments, I can achieve that number 50 that I got to check off the box before I take my exams. So this is a win-win situation for both you and I. I'm not new to coaching. I've been a coach for 7 or 8 years now, but now I'm doing the health and wellness bit of it with more structure and more education and more actually proven tools that actually work. And so these sessions are offered at half price of what I normally charge for my coaching. So if you are interested, well, first of all, let me tell you what health and wellness coaching is exactly. Health and wellness coaching is just you and I coming up with a health and wellness vision for yourself. I think a lot of us have these visions that we want to see for our lives, or our physical, health that we want to achieve. But it's just about really getting clear on that vision. So it's really just sitting down and making that vision more clear and doing it in a way that aligns with your values and that moves at a pace that feels right for you. This isn't me telling you what to do. I am just your guide. I'm just your accountability partner. You get to create your health and wellness vision in a way that feels aligned with who you are as a person, with your lifestyle, and with what you want to achieve. This is not about me. It's totally about you. Okay, so if you're interested, and I'll just be forthright. If you want to know the amount, I'm charging $50 per coaching session, which is less than half of what I typically charge for my coaching sessions. So for instance, for 5 coaching sessions, you'd pay $250. For 10 coaching sessions, you'd pay $500, right? And so if this sounds good to you, if this is something you've been praying for, this is something you've been asking for, reach out. Send me a direct message and let me know that you're interested. And then we can go from there, right? So for me, having mentorship has been really helpful. So if you've, been waiting to take the next step, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it, but I definitely know that for me, there's been a lot of people that have been answers to my prayers, because I know that I can't do it alone. I personally have hired therapists, mentors, coaches in my life that have helped me to get to where I am. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you, though. I really wanted to share my heart and just serve in a bigger capacity, in a bigger way, because I have a heart for health and wellness. It's a huge part of my story. And I have people that reach out to me and they cannot believe that I'm a liver transplant recipient. And I just want to be the person that I needed when I was going through that. You know what I mean? And now that I've gotten my health in a better place, and now that I have the tools to help others, I really feel like it would be a disservice not to share it with the world, not to share it with you. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. That's what was on my heart, is to share with you that you're not your thoughts. You're more than that, okay? You're a spirit. You have a brilliant mind, a beautiful body that operates and functions a lot of times, even when we're not taking care of it. I mean, the intelligence of our bodies and what our bodies overcompensate for is fascinating and just so incredible to me. And it deserves attention and emotional healing. Oh my gosh. A lot of my story, I feel like, and a lot of the dis-ease in my body that caused me to end up with end-stage liver disease is emotional baggage. You know, society really does not make it so that it's normal and acceptable to feel our emotions or to express them. And I'm telling you that it is vitally important for you to get a hold of and know how to manage your emotions, right? It impacts us so heavily. And yet we're taught to just keep going, to just push it down and keep moving forward. I mean, as someone who's married to a veteran, that is something that is in the military. Unfortunately, that is the message. Like, just keep going. F what you're feeling. Stop being a baby and get to it. That only can work for so long. Eventually, the floorboard, right? It's like stuffing crap under a floorboard and putting a rug over it and just like pretending that it's not there. Eventually, you cannot shove any more in there. Eventually, it will implode. And it's not pretty when it does. And so I implore you to take care of you because you matter. Stress has such a high impact on our heart, our cardiovascular health, our mental health. It stresses the body. We hold tension, pain, and disease. And as I said before, yoga refers to it as dis-ease, a lack of ease. So, not to be a total Debbie Downer, right? And I do want to be honest with you. I do want to be frank with you because I have witnessed this in my life personally, not only in my life, but the life of my loved ones. Stress has such an impact on you. And if you're not managing it, I guarantee you that your loved ones are feeling the impact of your lack of managing your stress. I guarantee you're probably not pleasant to be around. Just speaking truth in love, okay? I love you and I want the best for you. So if this has helped you in any way, please let a sister know. Let me know in the comments if you're ready to take this to another level and you're ready to receive help. You can help me. I can help you. I need those 50 coaching sessions. Again, highly discounted rate. Now's the opportunity. The day is now. Today is the day. Right? Even me, I've been like procrastinating, putting this offer out. And no, today's it. Today is all we have. Seize the moment, right? So I thought today, not anymore. No longer am I going to sit back and wait because this isn't just going to happen. I have to say it. I have to put out the invitation. And in order for me to take my boards in November, I've got to have these 50 coaching sessions. There'll be a Zoom. We could do Zoom. Or if you live locally, perhaps we can do one or a few sessions in person. I'm open to that, right? And as a trauma-informed yoga teacher, nervous system guide, holistic practitioner, movement expert, I can also help you move your body, feel better inside of it, because you're worthy of that. Life isn't meant to just breathe, right? Like, it's meant to feel alive. Like, feel alive in your body, feel good, enjoy it, laugh, live. And your body's the vessel in which we get to experience that. So your health is worth $1 million. It's priceless, actually. It's priceless. We can't even put a price on that. And as someone who was staring death in the face, life is priceless. Every day is priceless. Every breath is priceless. And your health, your vitality is priceless. All right. Well, I feel like I've said all of the things I need to say. I love you so, so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. So why don't we leave together with a cleansing breath? I promise you that this will help you to feel better. It's such an easy way to relieve tension in the moment. I usually like to do this in threes. It takes not even 1 minute of your time. All right. So if you're willing to do this with me, wherever it is that you're watching, exhale fully. That last breath you took, just let it go. Then take a big, full, voluptuous breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and exhale with a sigh. Let it go. Breath number 2, big, full breath in. Expand your belly, your ribs, your heart. Relax the back of your throat. Exhale. One more time. Last time. Big full breath in. Take another sip of air at the top. And exhale, let go even more. Shake it out. It was so lovely being here with all of you. Thank you for your presence, your time, your energy. I love you so much. Make it a fantastic Memorial Day, and I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.